And I'm still Kyle. You're still Kyle. That's good to know it hasn't changed.
Yeah, maybe next week. Who knows?
Hello, nerds, or in this case, gamers, you. Today we're going to talk about the most recent Nintendo Direct. I'm James.
And I'm still Kyle.
You're still Kyle. That's good to know it hasn't changed.
Yeah, maybe next week. Who knows?
Wow. I mean, you can't really do that. But before we detract from the point, most recently, Nintendo has uploaded a Nintendo Direct. I said Nintendo twice in a sentence to see how many times I can say Nintendo in one sentence. Nintendo. They have released their most recent Direct, and it was a bombshell.
It was what?
It was incredibly wild. So we're going to run through our top 5 announcements that really caught our attention and the order of when they were in the Directs. It may not be perfect. Please don't hurt me. Number 1, Unicorn Warlord. You still got it wrong.
What is it?
Overlord. Okay. Unicorn Overlord.
I only want to talk about this game because it looks like the most unique art style that I've seen from a game in a long time, and that's really the only thing that stuck out to me. It looked like it bridged your old Final Fantasy games with more of like a 2D, what's the 2.5 Total War? What's the game that you have a unity or unit here and then they fight and then...
Oh, Fire Emblem?
Kind of, yeah. I guess it would be more Fire
Or just another one, tactical RPG.
Yeah, like a tactical.
Oh, okay.
Actually, so it's like you mix that top-down, that with your tactical RPG aspect. So it looks fun. It looks like it's a grand old time. I don't know anything about this story, and I was surprised to find out that the name of it was Unicorn Overlord.
I remember watching the trailer like Final Fantasy Tactics, and watching through it, it's actually... to me, it looks like the perfect marriage between Fire Emblem and Final Fantasy Tactics, because it's got that isometric view that comes from Final Fantasy Tactics, as well as that rich story, while it also has the depth of the combat of the Fire Emblem games, as well as the awesome art.
Princess Peach is getting her own game.
And for the second time, because the first one wasn't bad enough, it wasn't even about her. But before I go on a tangent about something that's silly, I'm excited for this because Nintendo loves to put Princess Peach in different costumes all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So to get to see her do stuff in said costumes that isn't driving a cart or vacationing is super exciting.
I want to know what Nintendo's, or specifically the Mario team's, obsession with plays is. You noticed in that trailer that it almost looked like she's just going through a play?
Very much so. And for those who know or don't know, Super Mario Bros. 3 opens with curtains being drawn. The Super Mario All-Stars on the SNES waits for a spotlight to hit everybody. There's been this whole thing of is the Mario universe just a play? It's a long story, but I think it has to do with the fact that it's Nintendo making an artistic choice, because it's fun to put video game characters on a stage and watch them skedaddle. Right? It just looks fun.
Mm-hmm. So it's I guess that leads me into the next announcement is Mario RPG also takes place on a stage as well. All of your combat and whatnot. So you look back at these two games that we already have in that same concept, and like you said, Mario 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it seemed like they're leading us down a rabbit hole and being these are just hired actors that are playing out these plays that were modeled solely. Yeah, so... But on that note, Mario RPG coming back for the first time in beautiful HD 3,
absolutely,
all that kind of stuff. Did you play the first on Super Nintendo, or is this your first opportunity to play?
So I'm a broke bleep word.
Yes.
So I have no way of affording either an SNES or a cartridge of Super Mario RPG. However, I have always been fascinated by it because it's a partnership between Nintendo and Square. And we know that went so well in the late 90s. Just one of the best partnerships ever. I hope you know I'm being sarcastic. So it's awesome to finally see that game being brought back for people who never got to play it. Because for the longest time, we all thought it would never come back.
Mm-hmm. And I really thought that the franchise was dead all the way around, because you look at where Mario has gone since that game, and an RPG game doesn't really make sense in the grand scheme of the Mario universe right now. But the fact that they are taking the time to revive the series makes me hopeful for a potential sequel that's bigger and better. Maybe you have a lot more different characters involved that you didn't have the license to do the first one. So I think that would be very interesting, and I want to keep my eye on that series as a whole.
Yes.
Moving forward.
And it's a great introductory for people who don't necessarily want to play a JRPG or just an RPG in general because they're afraid it's going to be huge. It's Mario. It's a fun little RPG with the Mario peoples. It's not going to be insane, so it's a great way to introduce yourself to the genre of game while still sticking to something familiar.
Right. Mario Final Fantasy. Ultimately.
Yes. Speaking of which, another massive announcement no one was expecting.
F-Zero 99.
I was not talking about Thousand Year Door. We'll get to that in a minute. I don't even think it was leaked, but they announced Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, and this is like one of the most well-known Mario RPGs, if not the most beloved. And it was, I saw it and I'm like, oh my god, the Mad Men did it. The Mad Men flippin' did it.
So you're getting a Switch port of, is it a remaster or is it just a port?
I believe it's a remaster.
Okay.
Yeah, because the graphic fidelity is much better than the GameCube, that's for sure.
I wasn't sure if the Thousand Year Door was the N64 one or if it was the GameCube one.
That was a GameCube one. It's
I didn't play either one.
I watched the Game Grumps, like maybe the first third of them playing it.
Mm-hmm.
It is such a fun game with a cute story. It's one of those games that's like, it's fun, it's jolly, yay, there's a noose in the middle of the town. Anyways, Baby Yoshi. I am thoroughly excited because it looks like it's taking the assets and the visuals from Origami King, which were stunning, and putting it into the world of Thousand Year Door, which is one of the best RPGs of all time.
Yeah, and I remember when the Paper Mario franchise was coming out, like, this was such a new concept that everyone was like, I don't know what we're gonna, like, all right, is this gonna have fun? Is this gonna be enjoyable? Luckily, it came out and it was a great success, but the hype leading up to it was everyone was like, I don't know if this is where are they going with the Mario thing? Because it was basically half RPG and half the side-scrolling Mario, right? So it's like you got a little bit of that fusion with Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. So I'm glad to see that we're finally moving forward. And then Origami King came out last year or the year before?
I think it was the year before, but my memory is hazy on it.
So now that the engine's updated, a new one's probably coming a lot faster than Thousand Year Door and Origami.
And maybe this time we'll have fun characters because I'm not going to lie, Sticker Star was
Lackluster.
It was. I enjoyed it, but I'm glad to see that they are bringing back the classic Paper Mario.
All right, and the final one on the list is
F-Zero! So, my joke is, Mario fans always eat good. Zelda fans consistently eat good. Metroid fans, they get a nice dinner every so often, and F-Zero fans have been starving since the GameCube.
And are they still starving?
Yeah, pretty much. I love F-Zero. I was bored, and I was like, I'll get it, I'll play it, why not? And I fell in love with it. I have only played the SNES version, but even so, it's such a fun, high-octane game. Yes, I will almost break the system I'm playing it on when I blow up, but it's such a fun game, and it's kinetic, and it's energetic. It's Mario Kart on crack cocaine.
And now it's a battle royale,
which I think is brilliant, as much as I do want a brand new F-Zero game, because Nintendo, yes, Mario Kart is great, it's fun, but that doesn't cover the high-octane racing game that a lot of people love, I think it's called Forza, like the Forza games. Plus, it's fun sci-fi. It's like, who wouldn't want cool, weird alien dudes driving in high-speed cars that blow up?
On a side tangent, I think we're at a place where people are trying so hard to have something realistic like your Forzas, your Need for Speeds. All these games are hyper-realistic now, and even your NBA and Madden games are hyper-realistic, but if I wanted to go do those things, I would go drive my own car or I would go play basketball with my friends.
Yeah.
The reason I play games is because I want to be able to jump up walls and do backflips and be able to drive super combat with power-ups and things like that. I don't want to just go do something on a hyper real aspect. Like I want it to feel magical, like what video games are meant to do. And I think that is where F1, that's what they gave us, is something that you're racing in this crazy hover vehicle against 100 other people, 99 people, and it's gonna be intense. It's gonna be wild, and once you blow up, you lose. So yeah, like one of those things where it's like literally eliminating each other from the track. So and they might do a little bit of Burnout. You remember play the Burnout game?
I do once or twice, yes.
And man, they were great.
And what's awesome,
Bring Burnout back. This is my position. Bring Burnout back right now.
and what's awesome is that they went with the SNES graphics, which in my opinion, are the best. Don't get me wrong, every F-Zero game is a crap ton of fun. It's just when you have those fun, bright colors for a game like this, it's at its best. It's like I'd want, if we ever do get a new F-Zero game, which is the odds are incredibly low, I'd love to see it with like the Jet Set Radio cell shading, because that would be so much fun.
Also, can we get a new Jet Set Radio?
Yes, actually, I did hear there's like a spiritual successor coming out. I don't remember what it's.
I don't like that word.
I think that's
Spiritual
successor. We've seen too many of those.
Yeah, my number 9. I don't know what you're on. Anyway, that's enough about Nintendo this week before they sue us and get this entire video taken down. I love y'all. Stay beautiful. Stay tuned to Nerd Alert. Also, touch grass. Don't do that. Nerd Alert.